7 Mum forced to raise money for therapy abroad after NHS refuses to pay. The mother of one lived through the July 2005 outrage when 4 British suicide bombers killed 52 people on the capital's transport network. But 12 years later she was diagnosed with breast cancer and a liver tumor within the space of 6 months. Mrs. Ratcliff, 41, was denied further chemotherapy after doctors at her Medway, Kent, NHS trust said the tumor was too large to be operable. Instead, she had to seek further treatment abroad, which she has had to pay for herself. The keen walker has already paid £18,400 for 6 weeks of low-dose chemotherapy in Germany and has raised £5,000 towards the next course. She said, "After the terror attack and all the trauma that went with it, I thought that was it, that was my run of bad luck over. I thought it was my turn to be happy. I met my husband, Mike, and had our baby daughter Ivy. I have found a number of places abroad that treat neurological disorders as well as cancer with cutting-edge treatments such as stem cell therapy. I recently came back from Germany where a private clinic managed to shrink my tumors by a third, but I need to pay for more treatment. We just haven't got the money. I am appealing to anyone out there who knows how much you love your family and you just want to take care of them. I will do anything to not let that chance be taken away from me. Ivy deserves a happy, normal life and I'm determined to give it to her." Mrs. Ratcliff was on her way to work aboard a Piccadilly line train when it was blown up with the loss of 26 lives by Al-Qaeda fanatic Jermaine Lindsay. She was in the carriage next to the blast and suffered years of post-traumatic stress disorder. In January last year she noticed a lump while breastfeeding Ivy and was diagnosed with breast cancer. She had radiotherapy but claims that doctors said she was cured and she was denied a scan after asking for one. 6 months later Mrs. Ratcliff went to NE thinking she had appendicitis and found out the cancer had spread to her liver. She claimed doctors gave her more chemotherapy but later told her the tumor was too big and inoperable. Mrs. Ratcliff, who lost the use of her arms, legs and voice for 5 months, went on, "I feel like the NHS have just given up on me." James Lowell, Executive Director of Clinical Operations at Medway NHS Foundation Trust, said, "Mrs. Ratcliff has my deepest sympathy. We follow appropriate NICE guidance for cancer treatment, including providing comprehensive scans to patients whose symptoms indicate that they may be at risk of their cancer having spread. Sadly, there are occasionally some rare cases where cancer may have spread without presenting these symptoms. We will be contacting Mrs. Ratcliff to see if there is anything further we can do for her to support her through her treatment."